Hi Virgo, welcome to my channel. I'm Jennifer and this is your January 2018 reading. Please bear with me. This is it's a new channel and I hope that you like your reading. I hope it brings you some kind of insight or some advice that you needed to hear, and I hope that you'll give it a thumbs up, and I hope that you will subscribe to my channel. So I'm going to jump right into the reading. I actually already pulled your cards, and I'm going to just let you know I'm using the Good Tarot by Colette Baron Reid. And at the bottom of the deck, we have the Emperor. So this is the overall energy of your reading. And the Emperor talks about authority and rules and societal institutions and things like that. Now, in the set, I pull a 9-card spread for you, and I call it the Heart of the Matter spread. So we're going to start with that center card right here, which you have the 6 of Air. So the 6 of Air often talks about being in a difficult situation. You can see that it's like pretty stormy in this card, and perhaps there's some difficulty ahead in your life, or you're dealing with some difficulty now. And this card basically asks you that even though there might be difficulty going on around you, that you are able to find that calm within. And I just go over each card quickly, and then I'm going to go over the cards in relation to each other. So the first card we have is the Hermit, and of course this is your card, Virgo. So this card talks about taking a time out, reflecting within, regrouping, finding your light within, and seeking that truth about yourself, that place where, knowing that at the heart of you is who you really are. And the next card we have for you is the Magician. And this talks about, well, in this deck particularly, it talks about how you can use your will and your actions, but if you are not backed by spirit, then the manifestations are not going to really be coming the way that you hope, because you're not really like looking to say, like, is this what my energy really wants me to do, or am I doing this because I want to bring this into my life, and this is what it's supposed to look like, and if it doesn't look like this, then I'm just going to keep doing it anyway. And this card is basically saying that, like, listen, you can put your will and your actions and, put your money where your mouth is as much as you want. If spirit does not, if that's not what the universe or energy wants for you, or is not right for you, or that's not what is meant to be in this world, then it's not going to end up coming about. And ultimately what comes about is going to be what spirit says. And the next card, and all 3 of your first cards are actually major arcana. You have the Judgment card, which in this deck it's called Call. And this is about, hearing the inner calling. You see, like, this angel here has this trumpet, and this is really about your inner calling and about having that authentic relationship with your spirit, with yourself, with your true self, and letting your authentic self through, and knowing who that authentic self is. Who are you authentically? Who are you deep down? Why have you had to hide away for so much? And do you need to do that anymore? So it's asking you, it's a call for you to align yourself with your authentic self and your true self and your spirit. And then in the next row, we start with the 4 of Cups. And this is a card about dreaming. It's a Cups card, so it has to do with emotions. And it has to do with releasing, like these bubbles here. coming up to the surface, and like releasing things and letting yourself dream, and finding like that your dreams aren't just something in your headspace, but are also a place that comes from that like spirity, emotional aspect of you. And then we go to the Six of Air, which is the card of, sort of troublesome situations. And then we have the King of Cups, the King of Water. And this talks about, being emotionally mature and being aligned with that emotional self, and knowing what it is that your heart wants, and also being a nurturer to others. It's not all about self-love. I think a lot of people have self-love confused with, honestly, with narcissism these days, where they think that it's self-love to, buy all these things for themselves and think about themselves all the time. And in reality, loving yourself means that you value yourself and you realize that you're worthy of love. You're worthy of abundance, but not in the form of like only having, money. Like abundance is not just about money and material possessions. Abundance is more like, being emotionally fulfilled and being that authentic, true self. And then the next card we have here is the Queen of Earth. And that could be you, and this could also represent a water sign in your life. Perhaps you are in a relationship with a Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio. Or perhaps these are aspects of yourself. And remember, just because the king comes up does not mean it has to be representative of a man, but of the qualities of that card. And after that, we have the Queen of Earth. So this could be you, or this could be another earth sign in your life, a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. And this card talks about being grounded, resourceful. Somebody who is really has 2 feet on the ground, and they have abundance. They have what it is that they need, and possibly more than what they need. After that is the Ten of Fire. So this is the Ten of Wands. This is about taking on a lot of burdens. This is also a card about completion and cutting out what is no longer needed. Like she's setting these things on fire here, letting it burn away. Like what is no longer needed? How many burdens did you take on that really you don't need all of this? Sort of like, what you own ends up owning you. Maybe like clearing out the clutter from your life and realizing, what is it that you need? What is it that you don't need? What is important and what isn't important? And then finally we have the Seven of Fire. And this card has been coming out in quite a few readings I've been doing. And this card talks about standing your ground, defending yourself, and persistently moving forward in the face of, people challenging you or opposing you, and doing what it is you want to do anyway. And sometimes that can be a good thing. It depends on how aligned you are. Are you aligned with your authentic self? Are you sure that you are aligned with your authentic self? So let's look at these cards in a row now. So we have the Hermit, the Magician, and the Judgment card. And, what I see here is you're going within, and, you're wanting to bring something to fruition. You're wanting to, manifest something in your life, or perhaps could possibly be, it could be anything, whatever it is. I mean, there's no particular thing here that is being talked about in this reading. May or may not be a job or a relationship. It could just be a better way of life for yourself. And the advice that you're getting here in this first row is, you know, if you really want to manifest something, you really have to go within and figure out, like, you know, who am I really? What do I really want? Am I aligned with spirit, the universe, energy? And also, like, when you are in alignment with spirit or the universe or God or whatever name you want to give it, you are seeking truth. That's, you know, that's also what the Hermit card is about. It's about truth. It's about, the Hermit comes with his lantern, with his light, and he has some wisdom, knowledge to share. And this doesn't come from, you know, being on the superficial level and just wanting to remain in the shallow waters. This is about diving deeply with, you know, within and without, looking for the truth, seeking the truth in the world that you live in. And knowing that if you're not manifesting what it is that you really want, it's because you're not really aligned with the universe. You know, we have to stop people need to stop lying to themselves and saying, like, oh, everything's okay. I mean, obviously, people have been, you know, using this law of attraction for, you know, for the last, I don't know, decade. And it's like, not everybody is going to become a millionaire. And it's a selfish pursuit to just want abundance for yourself, when really, I mean, I personally feel that we should be working together to end things like starvation and poverty. And when we are aligned with each other, when humanity is aligned with one another and with bringing forth what really is for the highest good of all, then and only then can we really manifest what it is that we want. And that's what this is about. That's what this call is about, this authentic call. You know, like, people are always talking like, oh, we're one, we're this, we're that. But you don't see people treating each other like they're one. You know, oh, only in this group will we treat each other like we're one. But, you know, if you see some people on the street that are different from you, well, they're, you know, they deserve to be homeless or whatever it is. I'm sorry, I'm going off on a bit of a tangent here. You're probably not going to watch this video. But, so in the second row, we have the Four of Cups, the Six of Swords, and the King of Water. So, maybe you're realizing, like, you know, maybe there's emotional stuff coming up for you. Maybe you're releasing stuff. Maybe you need to release some stuff. And maybe by doing that, you know that it's not gonna be easy. But if you do that, you will find that inner place of calm, and when that storm comes, you know, you'll be more ready to deal with it. You'll be in a place of being emotionally stable and you know, not in a selfish place, but in a place. See, like, Virgo, you're the sixth sign. You're the sign of, like, service to others. And so for Virgos, you know, their work is very important, what they do in their work. And I think that your work has a lot to do with, you know, being in service. Of course, we all have to be in service to others in one way or another. And if we bring more of that emotional stability and trying to have more, or just having more compassion for other human beings and for life itself, you know, that's really how you get to be authentic to your true nature and your true spirit of self. And then we have the Queen of Earth with the Ten of Fire and the Seven of Fire. So we have this woman who is pretty much, you know, she's very grounded, responsible. She has what she needs, and she is, you know, able to manifest these material things in her life. But maybe this is feeling like a burden to her. Maybe you're feeling like what you own owns you. And often that is the case a lot of times. When we have, car, house, the more that you have, the more that you end up having to, it takes your time, your energy. So maybe the cards are saying, let go of some of this stuff. Maybe you don't need as much as you thought you needed. And maybe you're going to get some resistance from people by saying that, or by wanting to do that. But this card is telling you to charge ahead, and do what you need to do, and be your authentic self, and find that self, from, you're going within and realizing, because you have the Hermit here, the Six of Air, and then the Seven of Fire down diagonally. So, maybe you go within and you gain some knowledge, and perhaps you communicate to others something, and you find that this causes you some commotion and trouble in your life, and you find yourself having to defend yourself. So then we also can look at it like this. We have the Hermit, and this row, we have the Hermit, the Four of Cups, and the Queen of Water. So this is also saying here in this row, like going within and releasing and, dreaming and finding that emotional space and letting go of what needs to let go of, and, letting the things come up that need to come up. You can find yourself in a better place. And maybe, by trying to manifest things in your life in an authentic way, it's going to cause you, it's not going to necessarily be an easy journey. It's not going to be easy, but you do it. This is also like a card of like the rite of passage. So, you have to do what's right, not just for you, but also, like, if you do what's right for you, it should not harm others, right? And, like, harming others it's an objective, not subjective. Like, harming others means that, you're taking their rights or their freedoms, or you're harming them in some way. And unfortunately, I think people don't always know right from wrong these days. That's the truth. And, coming into this difficult period, you're going to have to let go of stuff. You're going to have to let go of some of the things that you've taken on, or that are just superfluous and excess baggage. And then this row here is talking about, finding that authentic space, finding that calling within, and being this king, not looking for this person outside yourself necessarily. Like, of course, it could be a relationship or somebody in your life that influences you, but I tend to read cards as though this is more about you. And bringing, because we all have aspects of all the signs and of all the elements within us. Just because we are born a Virgo doesn't mean that all we are is an earth sign, and our moon is in, Gemini, so we're just earth and air, and, we all have, that's just your personality and the way you deal with things. We all feel emotions for the most part. And this is about you stepping into your own emotional power and, doing it because it's what your true calling is. And you're not going to really truly be feeling contented and happy unless you do that. And you're going to find opposition from others. And you have to move forward anyway because it's the right thing for you. And it's what's best for them. And this could be, in many different scenarios. It could be at home. It could be with your spouse. It could be at work. It could be in a business that you run. It could be this situation and these things that you'll be going through could be in a multitude of things. And I also pulled for you one of the cards from the Art Through the Eyes of the Soul Oracle by Cheryl Yambrock Rose. And this is the card that we pulled for you, which is Be the Powerful Space Between Opposite Poles. The third pillar. So I'm going to read from the book for this. The third pillar, expanded meaning. In the balanced center of creation, you are the Grail. It is possible to manifest all you envision. Everything in our known world has a positive and negative charge. The third quality is the creation itself. The result from the interaction of the two is the powerful third point of the triangle, the symbol of perfect manifestation. There is nothing in the world you cannot do, design, and put into form. The female Templar in the painting is Pilgrim, spiritual warrior, and creatrix. She carries all the symbols of her experiences that placed her in this exalted space of realization. The epiphany of receiving the Grail is becoming cognizant of our divine human potential. And that's exactly what I've been talking to you about throughout this whole reading. You know, it's about hearing that call. Listen to the call. Hear the call and be your true, authentic self. And know that, you know, you're going to be able to come through whatever storm it is that you're going through. You're going to find that emotional calm within you when you're being your authentic self and you're being honest with yourself. And yes, there's going to be opposition. There's going to be people who challenge you. But you see this in this card, and even in the Seven of Wands in the Rider-Waite Tarot. When you have your authentic self, you know, and spirit is behind you, it's like you're in a more elevated position than anyone who comes to challenge you. Not that you're not better than them, but you have that power, that force behind you that is saying, you know, be that warrior. Be that warrior. Be in service to others. Be that warrior. And I think this card goes along with your sign a lot because it also talks about the Grail, and you're the Virgin, you know? You're the Virgo. And I do want to pull one more card for you. So we're going to pull one Goddess Oracle card. And then we're going to close out this reading. So, what messages do we have for Virgo for January 2018? What messages can you give us, Goddess Oracle? This card wants to come out. Okay. And we've got play, bust. So let's read that. And oftentimes when you're being your authentic self, like even though other people are opposing you and there's like stress that you have to deal with, you still feel sort of like, I don't know, like childlike or playful because you sort of like in that space of like carefreeness, and you're like, well, this is, you know, this is just the way it is. This is the truth of the matter, and you know, nothing's really going to change that truth. So let's see what this has to say. Play. I swirl and twirl, I hide and seek, romping and ranging, funning and frolicking. My opportunities for self-amusement are endless, and the pleasure that it gives me makes me purr. Life's challenges never stop me, for I know how to hold myself with play. So maybe that's a way of you being able to get through some of these difficult challenges ahead, is play. Meaning of the card. Boss bats at you with her paw to urge you to come and play with her. It is time to divert yourself with something that is amusing, fun, and totally recreational. Has play been a low priority for you? Do you know how to play? What does play mean to you? Perhaps you've been working so hard that you've forgotten to give yourself a break. Bast tells you the way to nurture wholeness lies in engaging in play. It is time to discover the ways you are able to play and do it. And also, you know, with the Emperor card here, I think this is not a time of following the rules. It's a time of really like questioning the authority, questioning the rules, and saying, you know, are these rules, are these institutions really for the highest good of me and my family and humanity as a whole? Are these, are the ways in which we've laid our foundations in the past, are they serving us? Are they really serving us? So this isn't a time of following the rules. And that's why it's more about, there's, if you are one of these Virgos who do want to, come into your authentic self, you're going to find that, it isn't about following the rules. I'm not saying that you should just go and become a criminal. I'm saying you need to question authority and realize, like, how can you positively impact the world through your truthfulness and your true authentic self, even though it's, possibly going to bring you challenges. The cards are really saying, move through it. Let them challenge you. Be challenged by it, because you do have, you are in the right if you are truly being called to your higher calling and letting yourself, take the call and make a call. And, maybe this is in order to, like, be that space, especially for Virgos. I think this is a really good card for you, because I'm sure that Virgos tend to be, like, very serious and, like, perfectionistic. And maybe Spirit's saying, it's okay to, like, let loose a little, be a little more carefree, be a little more, like, it's okay to just, like, stop taking this so seriously, because a lot of it isn't even for your highest good. I'm not saying that you should just, like, go wild, but in some instances, maybe you need to get a little more wild, a little more playful. Okay, so I do hope that message has helped you in some way, Virgo. And if you like my reading, please give my video a thumbs up and please subscribe to my channel. And hopefully I will see you in my next reading. Okay, thank you, bye, and Happy New Year.